chicken, like, oh, what are the chances, right? I'll be up here all night long, yes, for both your listening and viewing pleasure for you tonight. Just kind of emceeing and hosting night, keeping things moving along. I am what they refer to as the new youth pastor, or as the staff likes to call it, the guy who is blamed for everything. So that'll be me. Real quick intro. I may have mentioned to you earlier that I was married, and I have 2 kids. Yes, somehow this got married and produced children, but it did. I told some of you, you were at a message once before I did, about how my youngest daughter stuck a screw up her nose, and we took her to the hospital, and then she said, ha ha, April Fools. All right, that was when she was like 10. She's now 17, and she's still grounded. My oldest daughter, though, I don't know if I told you this or not, real quick before we introduce our first comedian. My oldest daughter, when she was very young, we were at the mall, all right? And we're at the mall, and as she's just learning to walk at the mall, she's kind of wiggling, doing this whole, can hardly walk thing, and I've got her hand, and as we're walking through the mall, and this is at the Lionel Mall, mind you, so we're like in the middle of the mall where the fountain used to be. Y'all remember the fountain used to be there? Now it's like the big area in the middle of the mall now, and we're walking, and she's like kind of squirming, right? And as she's squirming, I'm not really paying much attention, but as I'm walking, I'm getting all kinds of looks at me. It's just her and I, and she's walking like this. I've got her hand, and as she's walking, I'm getting all these kind of like weird looks, which I'm used to. I get those all the time. People shake their head and they're like, yeah, what a weirdo. All right? I get that, so I'm totally used to it. But as I'm walking, the looks start getting worse and worse. I mean, the looks start getting like, what is going on? And people are actually starting to back away from me as I'm walking by, and I'm like, what is going on? And my daughter's still kind of squirming, And I stop, and I'm like, what is going on? I'm standing in the middle of the Lionel Mall, and I'm looking around, and everyone is looking at me. No joke, they're all kind of looking at me like, oh my goodness, and they're backing away, and they're pointing, looking at me and stuff. Like, here comes mall security, and they're like walking this way, and I love mall security. They've got everything on them except for a gun. They've got all kinds of different mechanisms and keys, garage door openers, anything to make them look cool and military except for a gun. And they're coming out. I'm like, I look down. My oldest daughter's 24 now. At the time, it was like, 3. She was just learning to walk. I look down, and she is completely and totally stark naked. Not a strand of clothes. I'm like, ah! Are you kidding me? Ah! All right, I'm freaking out because she's been squirming the whole time. She kicked off her shoes way back by JCPenney's, and she's walking and she's squirming out of her clothes. I look down, I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, it's hot, Dad. So if it gets a little warm up here for you tonight, and you start seeing me, no, I promise. Guys, our first comedian, we're going to have a great night tonight. Oh, by the way, I want to tell you that as they're clearing the tables, comedians will be coming up, having a good time. Stevie Brown, is going to be coming up, or Stevie Nicks, I don't know which one you look more like, is going to be coming up and sharing with us the awesome stuff they're doing in North Africa. And I do want to tell you a couple things. Number one, praise the Lord, childcare is provided tonight. All right, so if you've got a child, wives, if you want to send your husbands over to the daycare area, you can do that as well. They've got all kinds of cool stuff over there for them. Nursery is provided in the nursery area, and all the other young kids are going to be going to the Elevate Junior Room. Now, something kind of fun and serious and kind of crazy all at once. We do want to tell you, in this world of .com that we live in, Facebook and Twitter, tonight, if you're taking photos or pictures or making any kind of Twitter statements or Facebook, please don't post anything on there about Stevie Brown and where he's at and what he's doing, because believe it or not, he really is part of something amazing called Creative Access and Missions. And so what he's doing over there is almost cloak and dagger, kind of under the radar, and it's very it's basically against the law in the areas that he's at to actually express his faith and try to help convert people to Jesus Christ. So we want to be real careful that you're not posting like that, all right? But are you ready to have a good time tonight? Yeah. I don't believe you, not in this room. Are you ready to have a good time tonight? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Mr. Phil Mikesell, he's a dentist in the area. He's going to be giving the stand-up routine. It's going to blow your mind. He's also going to be giving everyone that wants some Novocaine a shot later. He'll do that for you as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, give a big round of applause for my buddy, your favorite dentist, Mr. Phil Mikesell.
on yet? Is it on now? Is it on now?
No, it's on. It's on.
Okay, so being a dentist, I get to meet all sorts of people when they come into my office, and you've probably noticed this, but people are different. One from the other, we're not all the same. Have you noticed that? Some of us like being in a place like this, standing up and talking to people, and others of you would rather jump off a bridge than come up here, right? And some people in this world, we like interacting with strangers, and others of you would really rather not. You just kind of say to yourself. Some of you out there enjoy puns. Is there anybody out there who likes puns or play on words? This is for you. The rest of you will probably spend the next several minutes moaning, which is okay with me, all right? I'll take that. I did have a Buddhist patient who came into the office a few weeks ago, and this Buddhist patient was telling me that they really didn't want me to use any Novocaine when I got to get their tooth numb to do the root canal, and I was trying to understand why, and he said, I'm trying to transcend dental medication. And so, yeah, and then, I have to go see the doctor too, okay? I went to go see my psychiatrist, and I was telling the psychiatrist about these dreams that I keep having. I dream that I'm a teepee, and then I'm a wigwam, and then I'm a teepee, and then I'm a wigwam. He said, Phil, you're too tense. So, I went into 7-Eleven the other day. We don't have them around here anymore, but I went into 7-Eleven the other day, and I saw this duck. This duck walked up to the counter, and it needed some chapstick. And the guy hands it the chapstick and said, how do you intend to pay for that? And the duck says, you can put it on my bill. So, yeah, and there were these, okay. So a lot of people have cable these days, you've noticed that. But some people don't have cable, they just have the antennas, right? So I saw these two antennas, and they had met on the roof, and they had this wonderful love story. They ended up getting engaged and getting married, and the ceremony wasn't much, but the reception was excellent. Thank you. I do appreciate that one. And a lot of things happen in bars. And you guys probably don't spend too much time in bars, and that's okay. But I was in this bar the other day, and this jumper cable walked into the bar, and the bartender was saying, I'd be willing to serve you, but don't start anything. So yeah. And then I was sitting there, and two peanuts walked in the door, and one of them was assaulted. Yeah. And then there was another guy who came into the same bar, and he had a slab of asphalt under his arm, and he said, a beer please, and one for the road. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys go out to eat very much, but my wife and I, we like to go to some kind of funny places to eat. And one of the places where we went was a seafood disco. We thought it'd be really interesting. I pulled a muscle. And back when I was in that same bar, I saw this guy walk into the bar, and he had a lizard on his shoulder. And I asked him, what's your lizard's name? He says, Tiny. Why would you call your lizard Tiny? And he said, because he's minute. Those are minute, right? Okay. So then there were, I can explain this to you later. So there were these two termites also that walked into the same bar, and one asks, is the bartender here? Our bar's normally made out of wood, termite, bartender. Great. So I don't know how much traveling you guys have done, but I went on an airplane. I don't know. It was probably just a few same weeks ago that all that other stuff happened. And there was this vulture that boarded the airplane carrying two dead raccoons. And the stewardess looked at him and he said, I'm sorry, sir, only one carry-on per passenger. Carry-on. It's like dead animal. So then, Doug and some of the guys have gone up to Alaska, on some fishing trips. And I don't know if you met these guys up there, but there were two Eskimos that were sitting in a kayak, and they were chilly. And so they decided to light a fire in the CRAC to warm themselves up. And unsurprisingly, it sank, proving once again that you can't have your kayak in heated tube. And so then there were the two, I spent a lot of time studying science before I went into dentistry, and there were two hydrogen atoms that had met. And one said, "I've lost my electron." And the other said, "Are you sure?" And the first one says, "Yes, I'm positive." So then there was this group of chess enthusiasts. They had gone to this town other than where they lived, and they were looking for a place to stay because there was this big chess meet coming up that week. And so they all got together down in the lobby, and they were talking about all their recent chess victories. And they were just going on and on. So finally the manager came out and he asked them if they could disperse. And they said, "Sure, sir, we'll be happy to disperse, but why?" And he says, "Because I can't stand chestnuts boasting in an open foyer." And there was this woman who had twins, identical twins, and he gave them up for adoption. And one got adopted to a family in Egypt and was named Amal, and another got adopted to a family in Spain and was named Juan. So years later, Juan got in touch with his mom, and he sent her a picture, and she was very glad to see that, and she said to her husband, "I'd really like to have a picture of Amal too." And her husband says, "Honey, they're twins, so if you've seen Juan, you've seen them all." I know a lot of this. So they had to come up with some way so they could meet ends meet. And so they decided to start a flower shop. And a lot of people enjoyed going in there to buy their flowers from these men of God. And they provided great service. The only problem was that there was this florist across town whose business started going down. And he went to the friars. He said, "Would you please close your florist shop?" They said, No, we need to keep it open." Finally, he tried again. He went and got on his knees and he begged them, "Would you please close your flower shop?" They said, "No, we're keeping it open." So this rival florist, he went and he met this guy named Hugh McTaggart, who was the biggest bully in town. I mean, he would just beat people up for no good reason sometimes. So he paid them to go over to these friars' flower shop to convince them that they needed to close their business. And he went over there and he beat them all up, and he put the shop into disarray. And so they were terrified, and they closed their shop, just proving that only Hugh can prevent florist friars. Yeah. So Mahatma Gandhi, as you know, he walked barefoot most of the time, which produced a rather impressive set of calluses on his feet. And he also didn't eat very much, which made him rather frail, and with his odd diet, he suffered from bad breath, which made him a super calloused, fragile mystic vexed by halitosis. And finally, there was the person who sent 10 different puns to 10 different friends with the hope that at least one of the puns would make them laugh. Unfortunately, no pun intended.
Give it up for Mr. Phil Micel once again, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a merch table out there with a CD and all kinds of stuff on it. He'll be signing autographs a little later on. Our next comedian tonight is an amazing guy. Unbelievable. His name is Mike Reynolds. He is the inventor of Reynolds Wrap. Most of you don't know that. He's going to tell you all about that tonight. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mike Reynolds!
Hey, everybody, how's everything going? Testing. How's everything going? Now we got 3 mics up here and no speakers. But I don't know if I want to follow that or not. Sometimes with comedians, when you're trying to get a laugh out of people, it's like pulling teeth. I'm going to do some things that you probably should learn in church sometimes, you know? Like, where things today came from are actually in the Bible. You know, we all know about the beginning with baseball, but do we know about hospitals were in the Old Testament? Moses went to a hospital. He went to Mount Sinai. He went up there and he says, Lord, these people are giving me a headache. Here's 2 tablets. This should help. So he comes down, and they're still giving him a headache. He goes up and gets his first prescription refilled. Lord, they're still giving me a headache. Take two of these if you don't have no more. So he goes back now. Years later, he makes it to the promised land, and he dies of a staph infection. You don't hear that. You know, he has that staph, he throws it down, turns into a snake, picks it up, puts back as a staph. One time it bit him as he was holding it, and so he died. A lot of times when we think about the Bible, we think, one of these days, I want to see what it's like in heaven. And there are times when I thought, now is my time. I'm going to get to see God. And he's picked my number, and he looks at it, and he says, not ready. Could you put more rubber on his room? That's what I thought. There you go. How many unmarried ladies do we have here? You looking for a husband? There's one over here someplace. There's one right here, too. So, somebody just got that. You know, when you're in a church, you're looking for pastors, you always want to look for the best. This church, we've always been looking for the tallest one. And when we got Pastor Mike, we finally found one. He's not quite that tall, but still, we got the tallest one. As compared to the shortest one we got over here. It looks like Howard Stern, somebody said. But, and he's gone. Oh, there he is. Anyhow. This is always fun. This is Lima's Got Talent. Next time you go walking down the street, you'll see someone with a necktie. That's a nice tie, isn't it? This is a $100 bill. This was a $500 bill. I've been making some big money. These are my tithes and offerings, in case y'all are wondering about it. I got some really bright ties at home that when you turn the lights out, you can still see what you're eating. How many can see me? Can you see me now? How about now? If I had one of those ties on, you'd see me all the time. I keep you awake at night. Anyhow, moving right along, I decided when I die, I'm going to have myself sent to Florida, down to Disney World. That ought to be a good time for dead people, you know? I'm going to get myself animated. I'm going to come right back up here. My wife's going to throw a party. Finally, I got rid of it. No, but she's going to throw a party. I'm going to sit at the corner in a chair somewhere with a cup of coffee in my hand. I'll get up. I'll smile. I'll nod. I'll have a sip of coffee. Then I'm going to have a mausoleum built. It's going to be like an apartment. It's going to have to be triggered in case anybody breaks in. I'll get up and I'll walk around. And then you'll have to have a locksmith come in and fix the door. Have a couple of people come in and clean up the mess they made, you know, that kind of stuff. But when I get to heaven, I'll be the first one to leave. I'm going to be the first one to leave because I'm shorter and we get the head start. How many agrees with that? Right? When the rapture happens, the guys are going to leave first because their hair is already left. The rest of us got to go with it. That's right. Have you ever thought about, I thought about this afternoon. Bald people. They all should be Buddhists, you know, that's all they all look Buddhist to me. But where's all that hair go? You go to sleep one night, you got a full head of hair, you get up, and you're missing a few, but you can't find it. Where did it go? Which explains that little pun. Where'd he go? oh, there he is. That little pun you should remember about hair today, gone tomorrow. That'll do it. So, here, how much time I got? What, 82 minutes? Oh, I'm good. I know I'm good. Just ask me, I know from experience. Anyhow, there's a lot of times when people get together and they like to have, you know, some serious talk. But you always have to have one guy. I'm that one guy, you know? I'm that one guy. You don't want me in your serious conversation. Like going to heaven. There are several ways I can get to heaven if I join that conversation, let me tell you. So the rapture's supposed to happen this week. Tomorrow's my birthday. That should happen, it's supposed to happen tomorrow. So I hope it's gift wrapped, I'm ready to go. Put a bow in my hair, and the Lord says, not you. Yeah. Bruce maybe, but not you. Anyhow, the rapture is a word that I never did understand because it just kind of, that word is used for so many things, but when you use it in a spiritual context, it just don't make it, you know. So I like to think of it as getting out of Dodge in a hurry. But you just can't put that in one word. So we're back to rapture. Then I think, taking the last train out. But that's still too many words. You can't get it back in one word. So we're back to rapture. So the best way I'm going to leave is dead. I'll be dead when I leave. Be alive when I get there. I'll be alive when I come back. And I'll get no sleep after that. Which brings me to the fact that when you go to heaven, you know there's no night. When are we going to get time to sleep? And then we get up there, it talks about, one time it talks about in the Bible where we're eating, big banqueting table. What are we doing after that? Is there any dessert? Chocolate would be nice. I know me and somebody are going to have a good talk if there's no chocolate up there. And all that food, you know, down here you got a way of getting rid of the food. How are you going to get rid of it? What happens to the food that you eat? Process it. I have a hard time processing that, really. So, and then, when the guys, you'll love this. You get to heaven, it's the rapture. I find out when you get up there, there's no gender. There's no male or female. Therefore, there's no husband and wife. And I think the main theme is going to be free at last, free at last. Thank God I'm free at last. Are we done?
We are, buddy. Give it. Good job. All right. Papa Smirk, ladies and gentlemen. Give that one. All right. So we've got two guys that are over 90 years old. Right now now we've got a guy that's coming up right now, all the way from St. Mary's. You've probably seen him on the side show. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. Stephen Harris! There you go, bro.
Thank you. If I have trouble composing myself, I'm sorry. That was the most times in a 10-minute span that I've ever heard Raptor. I didn't know what to do with it, so I couldn't just laugh. And it's going to be hard for me to bring it back. Anyway, I was staying at my friend Alex's house yesterday, and there was something in the air of homecoming. And Shawnee had the homecoming walk, and it brought me back to my days of school dances that I did not attend. Back in 8th grade was the first school dance, and if you know anything about me, I was super awkward, like really weird. There was nothing cool about me. Like, I don't know what or how, but I was weird. I was about this height, really chubby, like had some bad acne. It was just all bad. And I played baseball, and it was after the season, going into this dance. My friend Dominic, he was the shortstop. I was the first baseman. We were super tight. And it was the night before this dance in 8th grade, and we're 8th graders, so we're excited about this. And we go out to lunch, eat our food, go out for, I don't know what they call it, recess, something comparable. And we go outside, and we're just all hanging out. There were some people over here having rap battles, some people over here playing hacky sack. And I was just kind of a loner at this time. And my friend Dominic decided to do the unthinkable. He snuck up behind me, and he pantsed me. But he did not just pants me, he underpants me. And it was bad the whole way. Very embarrassing. Like, I didn't recover from that. I was in 8th grade. There was no recovery. And then, that was horrible. I didn't go to that dance. Freshman year comes around. I'm going to redeem myself. I'm a high schooler. I got it all together. I'm cool. It's homecoming. I flashback to 8th grade. I'm getting nervous. There's this girl in my algebra class that sat right behind me who was really cute, really shy. I was like, I'm going to ask this girl out. And I got really nervous that day of class. And I went to the restroom to give myself a little pep talk, because that's what I had to do. So, mirror, you got this. 8th grade doesn't matter. Forget Dominic. Forget those Under Armour sweatpants that you did not tie. You're good. You got this. Be confident. That acne doesn't matter. You got this. So I head back to class. All cool. Open the door. It's Mr. Renner, my 9th grade algebra teacher, with all the confidence in the world, ready to ask this girl to homecoming. And I open the door. I walk in, and there's an eruption of laughter. I'm looking around. I'm trying to find what's funny. I don't see anything. Everything is in place from when I left. There hasn't been some crazy tornado. It's all in place. So I begin to look around, and there's toilet paper in my pants. I didn't ask her out. I didn't. I didn't go to the dance. That girl dated my best friend throughout junior year of high school. And I learned 2 things that day. One, it would be horrible to be a dog and try to chase your tail. And 2, if I'm ever going to ask someone out, be sure to check my pants.
Oh man, got a little toilet paper hanging here, by the way. Good stuff, man. Hey, you got one last guy who's going to come up and entertain your socks off before our missionary. No, it's not Tom Ball. No, just as I said that, I realized. Our missionary's going to come up in just a moment, but we got one last guy. Ladies and gentlemen, and I'm serious about this. I want every single person in this room right now to stand to your feet, standing ovation for this guy in charge, because he's going to blow you away. Jonathan Fott, ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Jonathan Fott, yeah!
Hi, My name is Jonathan Font, and for those of you who know a little bit about me, I have 5 kids. Let me answer a few questions, because these are the questions you always get. You're getting ahead. My wife helped me write them down. Yes, we are busy. Yes, they are all mine. Yes, our house is noisy. No, we don't have much free time. No, we don't have much time to ourselves. And no, we don't know what causes this, but we've narrowed it down to about 3 things, and we're not willing to give up any of them. Just to let you know. I love my kids. They're great. They're full of surprises. After my wife had been pregnant with Elizabeth and Asher, we're at the ultrasound place, and I was just sitting there watching the tech. And, you know, we've done this before, so this wasn't a big deal. And she's like rubbing the little wand over my wife's belly, and I'm sitting there looking, and I go, this isn't my first rodeo. I think you're a little low there, because there's 2 of those things, and there should be 1. There should be only 1. Maybe those are her kidneys. Maybe you need to go up. No. The only thing I was right about in that whole conversation was the kid part. There were 2. So, yeah, we had 2 little twins. I got Izzy, who's my oldest. Poor little girl. She's got 4 younger brothers. And on a good day, they're fantastic, and on a bad day, she hates them all. But they're full of surprises. We got home after Wednesday night at Awana, and Asher comes running in the house and he goes, Dad, guess what? I said, what, bud? He said, Sunday, we're gonna see real Christians. I go, well, we're all Christians, buddy. He goes, no, these are real ones from another country. I said, okay, we're just gonna go with that. But with it being Missions Week, a lot of times people get into and as this missionary is even talking about, it just being a Christian in the place where you are. And probably where I spend the other half of my life from at home is at work. And I'm a manager at Subway, and when I was younger, I would read the Bible, and you would see Jesus say the same things over and over and over again, and by the time you got to the 3rd or 4th time, it's like, okay, we got this, why are you still telling us? We just recently remodeled our Subway. We put a giant closed sign on the door. We had plastic across the front of where you normally order your sandwich. There was no floor, no furniture. There was a huge dumpster in front of the door. And people would still walk into the door. They would get out of their cars after parking and driving around the cones to get there and walk in the door and say, are you open? Dude, I'm wearing a flannel shirt. Do we look like we're open? No, there's not even a place to sit. And so I think that really helped me realize that that's why I kept going like that. But they watch you like a hawk. Because I've been working food service now for 10 years, and they know I have a wife and I have kids, and they've seen them, they've come in, and so on and so forth. And so one day I'm back in the office, and I'm having a discussion with my supervisor. And one of my front counter girls comes in the back, and she goes, hey, Jonathan, your girlfriend's here, and turns around and walks off. And my supervisor looks at me, and I go to open my mouth to I don't know what I'm going to say, but I'm like, he's like, I don't want to know, and just turn around and walk out. Here, come to find out it was a neighbor girl, thought she'd be funny and come in and say she was my girlfriend. And so I got a lot of questions from a lot of the girls around there, but they watch you. And the other day when I was working, this kind of scraggly little old guy comes in, and he comes up to the counter and he looks at me and he goes, does Harold own this Subway? I said, yeah, why? And he was like, he was a good guy. He fired me for good reasons, and I should have stopped doing drugs, but he's a good guy. I'm like, okay. So the fact that people watch you and that they go on and that they still watch you even after they're out of your place of business is one of those things. So that was one, for my last thing to kind of pull it together. I was in drive-thru the other day, and a lady came in through the drive-thru, and you kind of get used to saying the same things over and over and over again. And I looked at this lady who came through, and I went and handed her food. And as I handed her food, I was going to say, have a beautiful day. And as I was handing it to her, though, she said, thank you. And so the thought that went through my head is I should say, you're very welcome. But what came out of my mouth is when I looked at her in the face, I said, "You're very beautiful." And I handed her a sandwich, and she looked at me. And I said, "You just have a nice day." Thank you very much.
Good job, man. You're beautiful. This guy, is he beautiful? Is he beautiful tonight? Speaking of beautiful, I'm going to ask Stevie Brown. Come on up here, buddy. This guy here is probably one of the best